Hi, this is Kerry Artek with Wicked Stocks bringing you the daily Apple report for Thursday, June 22nd, 2023. Before I click through the charts, I want to encourage you to please click like, subscribe, share the content if you would with friends and colleagues, and check out wickedstocks.com, where we offer a full suite of both daily and weekly analytical videos, just like the Apple and Tesla report, daily analysis in the Triple Q and the SPY, weekly analysis in the S&P 500, NASDAQ 100, and the long bond ETF, the TLT, as well as 2 individual stock picks a week you never see on YouTube that cater to the 3 to 5 week swing trader to 3 to 5 month near-term investor, always looking for 20% moves on the underlying stocks, all in a single subscription package. Check out wickedstocks.com. Let's jump to the chart. Just a reminder that, I don't know how many weeks ago, almost 2 months ago, 170.18, that formation we settled above, which set off a long-term buy signal, anticipating over time the 220.82 long-term rising channel top. One of the milestones that was surpassed last week was the weekly settlement above the 182.94 former all-time high at January 22. That should set off follow-through buying pressures. Let's take a look at where am I going to begin here. So that is the big picture. But in the confines of that secondary buy signal above 182.94, we also on Wednesday closed below, a 1.5 week channel bottom at 185.35. I've reduced it to a session containment level only, but nonetheless, I do think you should respect the possibility that holding below 185.35 carries with it a 179.50 3 to 5 day downside target. Now, there are no guarantees for this, of course, and this is also what I would call kind of a short-term sell signal in the midst of a long-term buy signal that I illustrated at the beginning of this video. So these sell signals, these counter-trend signals have a tendency to not fully play out. I just want to put that out there. So, if you're short from Wednesday settlement below the 185.35 formation as a 3 to 5 day swing trader, anticipating 179.50, that is the play at hand, but just maintain, obviously, prudent and aggressive risk management, conservative risk management. In fact, I don't think I'd hold a short position today if we were to push back above 185.35. It's also in very close correlation to Wednesday's 185.41 high. So if we push through 185.35, I do see this market just continuing up. The question is, how high can it go? And, is it possible that if we did push above 185.35 that we could test 189.09 intraday? Possible? Yes, especially if, we sort of open at or above 185.35, which is certainly possible. We settled in the upper 183 handle, so opening at or above 185.35, I would say, would be the condition that would allow 189.09 intraday. After all, we remain in a long-term buy signal, so that is the play, I think, for the day. Pushing or opening above 185.35, you see here on the far right, does allow 189.09 intraday. And that is actually very close to this rising channel top at 191.62, which is an objective anyway. I'm going to call this kind of a 2 to 3 week target right now above, kind of pick your spot, 182.94, 179.50. Something along those lines, given the longer-term bullish dynamic, the low 190s in reach over the next couple of weeks. And yes, if we close today above 185.35, that should reverse momentum enough whereby the end of next week or sooner, we can reach that 191.62 level, which is a decent area for taking near-term profits and setting a near-term short if you like to play both sides of the market, because we could come off of 191.62 back into the upper 170s, low 180s again within several weeks of doing so. Of course, as I've been saying, if we were to close above 191.62, it would be consistent with the long-term buy signal, and I would expect this 203.73 steeply rising channel top within a matter of weeks. But I don't want to get too far ahead of myself. If you like the daily Apple report, a wickedstocks.com membership delivers regular daily video analysis in both the SPY and the Triple Q, weekly video analysis in the S&P 500 index, the NASDAQ 100 index, and a U.S. Treasury ETF, and 2 individual stock pick videos every week. Do yourself a favor and check out our other content by clicking the link below. Let's get back to the day at hand. That holding below 185.35 does allow short-term selling pressures to build, not only for the day, but also as we move into next week. As I mentioned a moment ago, the 179.50 formation considered a 3 to 5 day objective. But on the way down today, yes, we have 182.94. That did essentially contain Wednesday's lows, but there's nothing, it's that former high. Having closed above it is a sign of secondary strength, but on the way back down, retesting it, there's nothing golden about it. We can quite easily slip below 182.94 today and test 181.21, which I have over here in the far right as a session containment support level. Resistance 185.35, support 181.21. This high of the low from this consolidative pattern from about 2 weeks ago, able to contain session weakness. And once again, just that, not selling into later week, just session weakness. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised to see a settlement today below 181.21, but I put it out there for aggressive day traders because that is a pretty good level, I think, to buy into, at least on an intraday basis, possibly for the day itself. And if we close below 181.21, we're probably just another day or two away from reaching this targeted 179.50 level, which is part of a zone that ends at 178.54. This channel bottom in combination with that channel bottom in the upper 170s, well suited to absorb selling through next week. And from there, we can rotate back to new highs, back up to that 191.62 formation within a matter of several weeks of testing the 178.54 to 179.50 region. And finally, the big question, will we retest long-term support at 170.18, in the coming weeks? And the answer to that is yes, and only if we close below 178.54. Not until then. I don't see any good cause, any good reason to consider a 170.18 long-term support level as a test unless we close below 178.54. So I'm going to go, this is kind of the 3 to 5 day swing trade. I'll just say that holding below 185.35, the 3 to 5 day swing trade remains negatively, and I say that with caution because of the overall bullish dynamic. But yes, 178.54 to 179.50 in reach over the next 3 to 5 days below 185.35. And if we close above 185.35, that sell signal is rejected. And with that, I would expect continued gains as we move into next week. 191.62 in reach within 3 to 5 days of closing above 185.35, where we can top out on a weekly basis, possibly into later July. I'm going to leave it at that for Thursday's Apple Report. Please click like, share, subscribe. Check out wickedstocks.com. I'll be back tomorrow with Fridays.